Hello gremlins, welcome to a new vlog that is kind of starting spur of the moment. The reason behind that is we got a delivery and I want to show it to you. So this vlog in and of itself is going to be a reading vlog that is also going to involve me cooking and not on Thanksgiving dinner. You'll see when we get there. But the plan for the next few days is that we are going to watch the Bob's Burgers Thanksgiving episodes. We're gonna watch a queer Thanksgiving movie called Lesbom. Some of that might be happening today, specifically the movie, and then I think maybe Bob's after that. I'll be reading some books, and yeah, it's just gonna be a lot of random stuff, but there will be books. So this is a reading vlog. I have 2 books pulled already. You'll see them tomorrow because I'm not really gonna read today. I'm gonna be reading on Sunday because it's football day. So today is just kind of the fun watching stuff and showing you what we got in the mail. Now, if I was a smart person, I would have set it up here so I could pull things out, but I didn't do that. So I'll just show you in the box. But I'm gonna stop recording and start recording again. So 1 sec, get ready to see the very fun delivery. Okay, so this is the delivery. It's from 1911, which is a cider company in upstate New York. And we're part of the cider club, so like every few months we get ciders. So there's normally one brand new one, which is this one in the middle, and then some returning favorites. So the returning favorites are Sugar Plum and Cranberry, both of which are very good. I really like them. And the new one is, oh, of course it's twisted, Sour Pomegranate. So because it is a weekend, we're not really doing a heck of a lot today. Krista and I are each gonna have cider, and I'm gonna make lunch. We're just reheating leftovers, but I'm gonna give you my review of Sour Pomegranate because this one's brand new and I really wanna try it. The Cranberry one tastes like, really, it just tastes like a cranberry, like, cider. Like, it truly does taste like cranberry juice, but alcoholic. It's very good. And then Sugar Plum is a, like, spiced cider. It tastes very Christmassy to me, and I really like that one, but this brand new one, I'm very, very curious about. I also love the packaging. This is very fun. All right, but I gotta heat up pasta and get these upstairs. I'll give you a bit of a review. Krista really likes the cranberry one. She does not like this one, so the cranberries are mostly for Krista. And then these two, because you don't pick these, it's kind of like a surprise. These two will be primarily mine, I have a feeling, because I don't know that she liked the sour one they did. They did like a sour raspberry, and she didn't super like it, but we shall see. I'm gonna go heat up food, and then I'll give you our cider reviews. Ooh, now I gotta stand up. Ooh, crouching on the ground is a bad idea, gremlins. Hello, we are here. We have tried the cider. It is very sour. It reminds me of the sour blue raspberry they did. Kind of even smells the same, and I don't know that it tastes that pomegranate flavored to me.
It just tastes sour.
It just tastes really sour. So it's okay, I'll drink it. But of the ciders, because I know I like the Sugar Plum one and the cranberry, it's probably my least favorite of the box. Krista has the cranberry. She's already eating pasta, so I'm not gonna throw a camera in her face, but the cranberry tastes like it did before, right? It just tastes like an alcoholic cranberry beverage. Oh, I'll take a sip of it. I know I've had this one before. That one is delicious. Very cranberry. Very good. But yeah, so we're gonna eat. I just reheated pasta. And then we're gonna watch Lesbom. And I will show you a tiny clip once I put the camera down, started the movie. The movie is cute. I just need to push play. So be ready for a clip of Lesbom. And then I'll talk to you sometime later today, my dear gremlins.
Thank you. Does your mom have a favorite flower? She loves those red Gerber flowers.
So we're watching Friendsgiving, which stars Kat Denning, who will show up on screen in a sec, I think, and one of the women from Hunting Wives, the other partner, the one that Brittany Snow gets with. But yeah, we're watching this next. It's vaguely gay, not like solidly gay, but vaguely gay.
You take the backbone out of the turkey and you press
Okay, you're getting this clip because behind Bob is the Catch Me If You Cran burger served with cranberry sauce. We're gonna pretend that my brie burger is the Catch Me If You Cran. Oh, that's spatchcocking. Oh, I have to watch this video actually. Oh, sorry, that was a terrible clip. Sorry, I gotta watch this video. I have to watch it because I'm supposed to spatchcock. Bye. Hello, gremlins. Oh gosh, you can see my breath. So I'm in the kitchen, I'm making coffee, and I thought I would let you know what the first book of the day is. So it is football Sunday, so we're watching a lot of football, though the games don't start for like another hour or so. But the first book on my list today, which I have read a teeny tiny bit of, is Battle of the Bookstores by Ali Brady. This is definitely a take on You've Got Mail. So we're following Ryan and Josie. And Ryan and Josie own bookstores that are near each other, but there's a coffee shop in the middle. And recently Josie's bookstore was bought out. So hers is Tabula Inscripta. And she's still running it, she's still in charge of the day-to-day, but this guy's been scooping up properties, and he bought her property, kept her in charge, and he also bought the coffee shop. Now it turns out that he's also going to be buying, or has purchased, Ryan's Happy Endings bookstore. So he has them meet for coffee very early in the book, and like first chapter, and informs both of them that he is combining both their bookstores and the coffee shop, so they'll be like attached via the coffee shop. He's like, and I won't really need 2 managers in that situation, so you're basically gonna fight it out to see which one of you is going to be manager. And oh, Ryan thinks your bookstore sucks, Josie. So Josie's bookstore is very like fiction, very heavy reads, maybe fiction, nonfiction, but she doesn't have anything that's like, I almost want to say genre specific. We've gotten a couple names, but it's really like the books are pretty heavy, they're pretty big, they're like literature. And Ryan's bookstore is just romances, and he's like, but the joy of my bookstore, because you've gotten a little bit of him because it's like dual perspective, he's talked about his, and he wanted to create a safe space for romantics. So he's like, it's any kind of romance you would want. I like to give people that privacy to kind of like look around, find whatever fits their fancy, and like that's what I want to give them, like the perfect story for them. And now Josie has kind of the same idea, right? Yeah, for some reason I keep thinking her name is something else, don't ask me why. But Josie she also has like dedicated customers. She also sells to people who love reading these more very lit folks. She's very into like the book she's currently reading is like 500 pages, and she's like very into it. And so they both kind of look at books a bit differently in that they just like different things in books. And he did say at some point that he thought Josie's bookstore was kind of, I don't know, we're gonna say bleak, but I don't know if that's the word he said. It's also, she doesn't really decorate. The store's pretty sparse. It's really just her and the books, while Ryan's is very decorated, very the litter box is going. So coffee finished, microwave finished, and the litter box decided to go, FYI. So Josie is actually very, very pissed off at Ryan. Also thinks his name is Brian because she wasn't paying attention. So she keeps calling him the wrong name. He's tried to correct it. That's not working. So they're now in this competition, and Josie really wants to defeat Ryan because she is so pissed about what he kind of said in passing about her bookstore, which wasn't great, but he's like, I really didn't mean it about like her. I just like, they're not books I read, and what I said was very bad, and I didn't realize this guy was gonna bring it up. So he feels bad, but like he can't really apologize, he can't really do anything because Josie and the guy who bought everything aren't really letting him talk when they meet. So that's what's going on. And then the You've Got Mail aspect is they both are in this like online chat room, like it feels like a Reddit or like something along those lines, and it's supposed to be anonymous for booksellers so they can like talk about events, talk about books they've blurbed without really saying who they are. And the two of them are of course talking to each other in this subforum that they have for just each other, and they're great friends. They're probably a little romantic, and they don't know, a bit like the entire premise of You've Got Mail. So I'm very excited. I actually love You've Got Mail. It's one of my favorite like rom-coms. So I'm excited to read this one. Again, I read a teeny tiny bit yesterday just to get an idea of it. So I'm using this very cute otter bookmark. I think it says you are utterly amazing. Yes. But he's holding like a little book. So that's what we're using for my bookmark. He's a little dented, but he's very cute. But I need to take coffee upstairs. I need to take pastries upstairs. We're having these like little apple things we picked up at Walmart, but I need to get all that upstairs. And also use on my cup, I'm using a Strand mug. The back of it says like, leave me alone, my favorite fictional character just died, but we're focusing on the fact that the front says The Strand. Strand. Because the back doesn't really fit with this book. But I'm gonna grab stuff and I'm gonna head upstairs. But I want to give you an update on what I will be reading to start. The next book is very different. So just know the first one, rom-com. Inspired by a rom-com. I will talk to you at some point later. I'll give you some kind of book update. Maybe not when I've finished it, hopefully not. But if I get in a groove, I may not tell you until I'm completely done. But I'll talk to you at some point later today during all the football gremlins. Hello, gremlins, or gremlinos, as my wife insists I call you, because I called gremlins gremlinos, like the actual gremlin characters. Yes, but we're here because unfortunately I forgot to tell you that I read all of this. I was gonna update you sooner, but the game before this went to overtime, so I just kept reading. So I finished Battle of the Bookstores. It is good. It does do some of the trope kind of things from You've Got Mail. So we do follow them as they're going through this competition, and Krista has a bit of a cough, FYI. And Ryan and Josie are very contentious throughout the early part of this book. And then as we're going, we are getting more of their texts and conversations out in their like chat where they don't know each other. And eventually one of them does figure it out. We also wind up doing a faux fake dating trope where there's an anniversary event and they wind up going together. While they do try and make it clear that they are just friends, they do still wind up going somewhere. And then ultimately, even though they plan not to have it, there is a one bed trope that pops up. And then as they both kind of realize that they want to try and find a way for them both to keep their jobs, the focus becomes, maybe if we work together, we can become co-managers, and Xander, the annoying guy that is setting all of this in motion, will let that happen. So the two begin working more closely together, and it actually works out really well for both stores. They're kind of cross-marketing, cross-promoting, doing events together, and it is going very well for both of them. They are getting closer. And while Ryan's, I don't want to say employees exactly, but he is in charge, so like they're his co-workers, but he's the manager. They are like warming up to Josie. They still don't really like her because she is the competition. And so they're kind of like, we don't really like her. But while all this is going on, while one of them has figured out that they are chatting and have been getting closer and closer, there are attempts to meet in person, which keep getting shot down consistently, even though they're all going to be, the two of them are going to be in the same place after the anniversary event. So, we gotta talk fast. The game might be back, kind of. So there are attempts to meet. There is that setup moment of we should meet and I will bring a rose, which is in Shop Around the Corner, which is the inspiration for You've Got Mail and in You've Got Mail, but it does go differently. I won't say how. The story does take its own liberties with the story, so even if you know You've Got Mail or Shop Around the Corner, this will be different for you. And it is fun, especially if you read a lot of romance. I think you'll love a lot of the tropes and like romance drops. There are mentions of a lot of romance things, like a lot of different romance books, a lot of different romance tropes. I don't know all the romance authors that are mentioned. I also didn't know all the literature things that were mentioned, but it was still fun and I really enjoyed myself. I liked how the story went. I do feel it might be a touch long, but I still feel like it worked well and I enjoyed following these two characters. The beginning got me a little bit because I feel like Josie is made to be very unlikable when we meet her, and Ryan is made to be very reactive and says some stuff that he doesn't quite mean or is like phrased very poorly. But once you get past like the first maybe 50 pages, we get to see more of the characters and they work a bit better together to me. It was just like getting to know them took a bit. But I did very much enjoy this. I thought it was a fun time. It also is a summer book, just FYI. You can probably tell from the cover, but it is set in the summer and is set in Boston. So it is different from You've Got Mail, which I believe is set in New York. City. Yes, yes. But yeah, so it was fun. I very much enjoyed it. It was a fast read, even though it's like 400 pages. Now we're moving on to the next book, which is very different. I will be reading Girl Dinner by Olivia Blake. I have never read an Olivia Blake book, but this involves apparently a sorority and cannibalism? I don't know. It sounded cool when people were talking about it. My library had it on the shelf and so I grabbed it. Or maybe I requested it. I don't know. It was available and I have it now. But I do definitely want to start this today, but I need to eat actual dinner and figure out what Krista's eating because I'm eating her Chinese food leftovers that she hated from yesterday. So I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna figure out what my wife wants. And then after I eat, I will probably start this because we have way more football to go. This is only the second game of the day and there are at least 3. So I'm gonna go, I'm gonna make food and be ready for Girl Dinner, which is horror. I think this is horror. Why don't you just
give him 20 million years to throw the ball?
Oh gosh, yeah, things are not going well. But I'm gonna go, my dear gremlins, and eat food. So I will talk to you about Girl Dinner later tonight. Bye for now.
I mean, we had to watch You've Got Mail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We had to. Behold, You've Got Mail.
Good morning, gremlins. It is before work, and I have many things to talk to you about. So first, I have coffee, and I'm going to take a sip, and I have it in a book cup. It says, yes, I really do need all these books. I got this a little while ago. Krista had me pick it out when we went to the very first time I went to the Long Story Short Bookmobile. So I'm using that today because I did have a quick thing from Battle of the Bookstores that I forgot to tell you. So in Battle of the Bookstores, there is a discussion of like everyone getting a happily ever after. And we do get a story or like some insight into Ryan and how he had a best friend who is no longer alive. And he says that he thinks his friend would have still been alive if he had seen positive representation of gay relationships. So this book does include those, even though our main characters are seemingly straight. I kind of wish Ryan was bi or something. Like, I kind of wish that was stated in here, but totally fine. He's a very supportive ally. He does help with a queer proposal between two women, which is very, very sweet. And then there's something else. Oh, there's a number of like book clubby things and mentions of like queer books. So there is some good mentioning of representation, and there is specifically Indira is a lesbian, and we do learn that she has a girlfriend, and that's also in here. So I just wanted to include there is some representation, even though our main characters are not queer. I just thought I'd toss that in here. But I did finish this one yesterday. I already gave you like a recap. I just didn't include that part because I was talking pretty fast. We also did watch You've Got Mail because I read this and we stayed up way too late, but we did watch it and I just enjoyed that movie. Also, I would like to note that neither of these people is in a relationship when they start talking to each other, unlike the two people in You've Got Mail. But that's this one down. Now moving on to the next book, because I did finish this yesterday. I read Girl Dinner by Olivia Blake, and this is the first Olivia Blake I have ever read. So in this one we are specifically following Nina and Sloane. Nina is a sophomore who is rushing the house. That is how it is always referred. It's the house. It is a sorority, but that's the only way they refer to it. It's just called the house. And then Sloane is a returning, well, she's new to this college. So Sloane, I'm gonna put this down. Sloane previously worked at a smaller liberal arts college, and her husband got offered a job at the university. That's what they call the school. For us, it's just the university. He started working there. Sloane got pregnant. They decided to have a child. And then she kind of wound up being a mom, just a stay-at-home mom, even though she had planned to go back to the workforce earlier. She stayed at home for about 2 years. And she still, like, she wants to be teaching. She loves teaching. So she winds up being hired in a very, like, part-term adjunct role at the husband Max's university. And she's there, she's like on his benefits, but she does qualify for benefits in her role. And that's kind of a thing that comes up throughout, because the school doesn't seem to value her thoughts on research. They kind of just keep thinking of her as Max's wife, even though she is teaching, and it sucks because she'll be like, well, we both have a child, but like I'm doing most of the parenting so that he can work on his own things. And they're like, oh yes, well also like you need to be at more meetings, you need to do things. So Sloane is kind of trying to readjust and is asked at a certain point to be the advisor. So there has to be a faculty advisor for all of the sororities and fraternities, and the house needs one. And so she is approached by Alex, who is an alumni who works very closely with the house still. And she's like, we heard great things. We think you should be our faculty advisor. And while this story is going on, we are getting mentions of the country wife, sort of like a Treadwife-esque TikTok, possibly, like TikTok, Instagram kind of thing. And Sloane is like very invested in it. Now, while that is going on, we are following Nina as she is rushing the house and getting more involved in the house. And we begin to learn more and more about the house and how people from the house become so successful, seemingly so successful at least. And as we're following it, now I will say, it's not on the description, but I know for a fact that cannibalism has been mentioned every time this book comes up. So that's not a surprise. There is cannibalism in this, but it does not come in until a bit later, at least specifically mentioned. And the story itself feels very academic. The writing is very academic. While there are fun moments of writing, like more colloquial moments, it does give a very academic feel, which was totally fine. It just was a bit denser than the romance I've been reading, just because it is leaning in a more academic route in presentation. And the story actually is more so focused on women, how they are perceived in society. If you can be the perfect woman, is there a perfect woman? Can you ever achieve perfect womanhood? Or is all of this useless in a patriarchal society where women are never going to be viewed as successful as men? So it's a lot of discussion of women's positions in society, how women cope with how they are perceived in society, how women exist in a society that is not designed for them. And a lot of the story is that. And then as I kind of expected as I was reading, I was like, okay, maybe, and at first I was like, maybe the cannibalism is metaphorical, because really these women do discuss like, it's like a man eat man world out there, or like you survive or die. And I was like, oh, maybe it's not even real cannibalism. There is actual cannibalism in this. But a lot of it ties into how do you take your power back in a society that doesn't want to give you power at all. So it is a very interesting analysis, and it does actually, so Sloane is presented as a sociologist, and it really does feel like we are following, in a sense, Sloane's research, what Sloane would have been like assessing, going through, and she is doing some research in this. So it does feel like a larger sociological analysis of womanhood in American society. So that is a lot of the story. Even Nina's sections do have her trying to explain, like, I'm going out, she's a twin sister, and she's trying to explain to her twin sister, like, I understand that we have the benefits that we're both pretty, but like, I want something that will give me power. And what will give me power is getting into this sorority so I can meet the right people, I can get the job I want, I can get where I need to go. But to do that, I need to get into this sorority. So a lot of it is, for Nina, finding ways to gain power through the system that she knows doesn't want her to have any power. And it was very interesting. It is a lot of sociological discussion of women. It also does include some very fun food moments where it's just food, probably. And some of that reminded me of Hannibal. Ultimately, a lot of it in terms of food consumption and like the discussion of consuming others did remind me a lot of the television show Hannibal, and that like, and the presentation of food, and then ultimately why Hannibal would choose people. So that was very interesting for me. I also feel like it reminded me the teeniest bit of Bloom, just a touch. And it actually does include some queer rep. There are two women who get together in this, in a sort of, I'm gonna call it a situationship, but that is in here. There are some sex scenes, which I truly was not expecting, even if they were mentioned previously. But I did enjoy this. I will say you do need to pay a lot of attention, and you need to like lean into reading discourse, because it is a discourse on women, and I found it very enjoyable. I also appreciated that they introduced this woman who they're basically like discussing treadwives and that like traditional wife set of influencers, and how like what that does for women, and the person who is creating that content, her response to all of that. So I also found that interesting. But yeah, so I actually finished both of these, and these are the library books that needed to go back this week. So go me, got those done in plenty of time. So they will go back sometime before Thanksgiving. And now the next book, and the reason I brought up queer rep and that there is romance kind of in Girl Dinner is the next book we're going to read is Alexandria Bellefleur's The Devil She Knows, which I have been trying to get a hold of for ages. And when I was taken on this like pre-birthday surprise shopping spree by my in-laws, I saw it and immediately grabbed it. They said I should go grab books I wanted and they would gift them to me, which was very nice. It was a very generous gift. But I picked this up immediately, and I'm not really going to tell you anything. Just know that one of these women is the devil and some deals get made, and it's sapphic. So I am very curious. I really, really have wanted to read this. So the goal will be to read that maybe a little bit during lunch, and then during football, because it is Monday night football day. So just a lot of football. So I'm doing a lot of reading. But yeah, that is it for now. I think I've covered everything I need to cover. I'm gonna drink my coffee and finish getting prepped for work, though I'm like 99.9% prepped. I always do that before I start filming, just so I'm like ready to go. But yeah, that's 2 books down. I was not even sure I'd get both of those done, but I did. And I do want to read this third one before the vlog is over, and there's some fun stuff going on still. So be ready for book updates, and also at some point food updates, because I need to make Thanksgiving-y food. So yeah, I'll talk to you later, gremlins. Hi gremlins. Can you tell I'm cold? My office is just chilly today, and so I'm blanketing. So just enjoy. Blanket scarf. I did want to update you because it is the very end of my workday, and before I head out on some errand running with Krista for some very exciting things, I did want to talk to you a bit about The Devil She Knows. So in this, we are following, I'm only I'm not done. I will finish this during the football game. I have a little ways left. Okay, kind of a lot of ways, but anyway. We're following Sam, who is here, and Daphne, sort of. So Sam and her girlfriend have been together for a little while. Her girlfriend's name is Hannah, and Sam has decided to propose. And the proposal does not go well at all, in any way, shape, or form. And then, because it has not gone well, Sam winds up alone, headed back to their shared apartment. And while Sam is in the elevator, something strange happens. A woman appears, very petite, blonde woman in a pink dress. And she's just kind of like, "Hi, Sam." And immediately Sam was like, "What is going on? What is happening? I was alone. How are you here?" And then the elevator stops. And Sam is freaking out because, one, she is pretty cold. She's pretty wet. It's like wintry. There's sludge in her shoes. It's not a fun time for Sam. She's also heartbroken. And so she's just kind of like, really of all the things that could happen. And you see, this petite blonde, who introduced herself as Daphne, knows oddly too much about Sam. And as Daphne continues talking to Sam, she's like, "Well, you just want Hannah back, right? Like, you'd do anything to get Hannah back? You'd really do just about anything? Anything at all?" And this is where we get to the point where Daphne reveals she is a demon. She can make a deal, and you will get 6 wishes. And with these 6 wishes, once they're terminated, your soul belongs to Daphne. So the setup here is that you do get 6 wishes. Now, it's a sort of wish situation you would expect from perhaps Rumpelstiltskin, the devil himself, really any number of people, because see, you get what you ask for, sort of. You get the wish in a very curious way. So, you see, Sam does finally agree after Daphne reveals her power. And the wishes start. And everything is odd. For you see, you get your wish. Let's say you wish for a lot of money. And you can have that money, but it may not be legal money. That's just an example. I'm not going to get into the wishes so far, but predominantly the wishes Sam is making are to get Hannah back. But Sam does not want to wish that Hannah wants to be with her. No. Sam very clearly is trying to make wishes that will make Hannah want to be with her, which is key. But she doesn't want to force Hannah to be with her. She's like, "I don't want some kind of Stepford wife sort of situation where she only wants to be with me and she has no free will. Like, I don't want that." No, she has not said that to Daphne. That's just like a thing she has thought. So Sam, so far in her wishes, has seen Hannah, but every time things are a bit strange. One of the wishes, they haven't met, is all I'm going to say. That's in one of them, another one they have, and that's as far as I've gotten. There have been 2 wishes. I'm just going to say that Daphne is able to control how the wishes go in that she creates what appears to be an alternate reality. We don't really understand, and I say that because Sam is kind of like, "I don't really know what's happening. Like, this is a reality where different things are happening." Like, it seems like each wish puts Sam in like a different place or timeline, possibly. But also, Sam isn't sure any of this is real. So Sam's kind of like, "Well, I made a deal, but also like, what is happening?" So it is very interesting. And I will point out, so this elevator is key because the deal happens in an elevator, but we also learn it's not entirely an elevator itself. So I will say the elevator continues to come up, but the elevator is not quite an elevator. And that is all I will get to. Let's see. I feel like that's good. And then there's more on this. I'm not going to read any more of that synopsis, because there's more on there that I'm not going to tell you. But so far, that's what we have. Daphne is also very flirty. So there are moments, and Sam also was like, "Oh my goodness," because Daphne is very much like, "Hello, I seal my deals not with pen or with blood, but with kiss." That is not how she phrases that, but things like that. Daphne's a flirty demon. But yeah, so I'm curious to see where this goes, because Sam's soul does not belong to Daphne until all 6 wishes have been used, which is interesting to me, because going into this, I assumed maybe you got like 1 wish and then like do-overs if it was very poor for you, or perhaps you got to see different realities and then pick one. I wasn't quite sure, but there are six wishes and you get all 6. And also you have a safe word. So that's how your wish gets undone. So there is a safe word element. So you're not trapped in the wish, which is why Sam can't figure out if these are real realities or what's going on, because they can be so easily undone. So that's what's curious to me, because it almost feels like it's like a Price is Right situation where you get to like see what's behind the door, but also you don't have to stay there. So yeah, I am very much enjoying it. It does remind me of something, and for the life of me, I cannot figure out what it is, but it is reminding me of something, and it is something where there is like a devil's bargain to get what you want or something, and I'm like, there's something is like nagging in the back of my brain where I'm like, I swear I have consumed something that was a bit similar, where like you made the wish and like the wish never went the way you wanted, and then you'd be like, no, that's not what I meant, and then whatever the entity was granting the wish was like, oh, so you wanted to do a different thing. But I can't quite figure out what it was. And maybe it'll come to me, maybe it won't. I feel like it's something I consumed like a long time ago, so it may never come to me. It may have just been like something from my childhood that I kind of remember. And I don't know what it is. I feel like it was a genie or a djinn and not a demon, but I could be wrong. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, that's where I am so far. I am enjoying this. The writing is very fun. I have read a number of things by Alexandria Bell Fleur before. I have read, there's probably a list, right? Oh, come on. Turn. It's probably at the front. Ooh, they're normally at the front. Back? Interesting. I was kind of expecting a list of books. Normally there is one. Like my other stuff has had a list of books in it, but this one doesn't. I have read, there's just praise for other novels. I've read the Written in the Stars series. I've read all 3 of those. I have also read, oh my gosh, I feel like I read something else. Well, I've read those 3 for sure, and I really enjoyed those. And I have another book of hers set aside that I picked up, and I could swear I read another one, but maybe I'm making this up. Maybe not. Or I'm losing my mind. You know, it happens. But I will update you when I finish this one. Errands are coming. I may show you the thing we're picking up, because it is for my birthday tomorrow, but we're picking it up tonight. So yeah, I haven't officially seen it, so we shall see, but I'm kind of tempted to show you tonight, just because I may forget tomorrow, and also who knows when we will have it tomorrow. I don't know. But I gotta go. I will talk to you sometime tonight, probably during football. I will definitely finish this during football. I have enough left that I know I'm going to finish it during football, but I don't know if I'm going to start anything else tonight. Yeah, that is it for now. I'm going to go. I gotta go do stuff, gremlins. Behold! Birthday cake. Krista had this designed. Yes, I turn 35 tomorrow. This is the cake. Little printed Gilmore Girl prints. The sign. It is very, very cute. It is an Oreo chocolate mousse cake. So it's Oreo cake and then chocolate mousse filling. And I have to put it very safely somewhere where the cats can't get to it, because we're not having it till tomorrow.
It may be too tall for the microwave.
It might be okay. I have no idea. I have to see, because it won't fit in the fridge and I can't leave it on the counter.
No, Banks will eat it.
Yep. So I gotta figure that out. But this is the cake. We'll eat it tomorrow, so we'll get a taste test tomorrow. But I have to figure out where we're putting it and how that's gonna work. So this is the cake though. It's very, very cute. Krista did a very incredible job. But yes, this is the cake. Alright. Gotta figure out where to put this. Okay, bye for now, gremlins. Good morning, gremlins. It is my birthday. I am 35 today. Gonna take a sip of this Gilmore Girls pumpkin spice coffee. I'm going for cozy. That is the theme of the day. So, super cozy top. I did do makeup in my hair, but makeup and hair for me is a little bit of hairspray and some eyeliner. I was gonna dress up yesterday when we picked up the cake, but my eye was still bothering me. It's just like, it got irritated. I don't know what did it, because I hadn't worn makeup for a few days, so no idea. But I decided to go cozy, do this in case I want to take some photos. I already took photos with my cake, which you saw yesterday. I just want to make sure I got them in case like something happened to it while, like, before we cut it. So I just wanted to like get those photos so I can post them today, really to show off the cake. And I like wanted to wear like a shirt that felt kind of Gilmore Girls-y to me. But I'm here with a book update, so I'm taking another sip of coffee. Okay, so I have finished The Devil She Knows. This is ultimately a very cute book. So I did tell you some of this already. So as the story continues, Sam really is like, I'm not gonna use my last wish. I'm not gonna use it. Like, I'll keep my soul. We'll get to the last wish. Like, that's the plan. That's what I'm gonna do. Now, we don't know. Like, I'm not gonna tell you if that's actually what the plan is. I will let you know there are some strings attached to these wishes and the contract that she signed with Daphne. But at a certain point, Sam and Daphne get on the same page, which you as the reader, while you're going through this, you'll understand what Daphne at a certain point is trying to explain to Sam. So this is really a very learning lesson. The goal is to have her learn a lesson, really. And in that way, the wishes almost feel a little bit Christmas Carol-y to me, in that what she's seeing is supposed to teach her something. Like, the ghosts are supposed to teach Scrooge so he can change his ways. That's what the wishes start to feel like a little bit as you continue, especially because Daphne does share a bit more about herself, does do some things for Sam that kind of fall outside of the contract. I will not say what those things are specifically, but just assume some stuff, because they're together on the cover. So I will hint at that. But we are still following Sam, and she's trying to like figure out what to do after the failed proposal. We get a couple more scenarios where Sam wishes for something, which is very interesting. We also learn a little bit more about like Sam's family, and it becomes very, very sweet in like a good way. If you've read other Bella Fleur books, you will kind of notice that the characters really do start to care for each other very deeply, and then what they care about becomes very, very important to them. Like, there's a consistent like, I love this person, I want to help them kind of stuff. So that becomes pretty consistent, this idea of like love and loving someone and loving the right person or finding your person. That does get discussed, especially because we are examining what Sam thinks about Hannah, what Hannah thinks about Sam. I don't want to spoil anything. I will say we do get some more info on like how hell works a touch, which was cool. And I thought this wound up being like such a cute rom-com. Now, it does start with like the demon aspect of it, but I would say this is still a rom-com, just kind of like a Faustian rom-com, which I don't think is a phrase. But I think if you like Alexandra Bella Fleur's other work, you will really enjoy this. And I do think if you like a romance you can cozy up with and will be a pretty quick read, I also think you will enjoy this, because this did not take me very long. And I really enjoyed the characters. I liked Daphne, I liked Sam. I liked seeing Sam like understand things. Also, Sam has two very cute cats in this that become very important to the plot. Oh, my battery is dying, I'm not surprised. But I did very much enjoy this, and I do recommend. And I feel like, I will say, even if you don't like monster romance, you're totally fine. I know some people may gravitate toward this thinking like demon human stuff. I will say, like, don't think that this is like monster romance. This is a rom-com with some devilish like nods. But it is my birthday. I do have to work, so I'm gonna finish getting ready for work. I'm gonna watch Gilmore Girls. That's the plan. Like, while I'm working, I'll have it on in the background, and I guess I'm gonna charge my battery. I don't know what I'm reading next, so be ready for some birthday stuff. Eventually the announcement of my next read. I don't know what we're doing yet. I mean, for my birthday I do books. I have no idea, but yeah, that is it. I will talk to you at some point throughout the festivities, i.e. dinner. And yeah, that's the big thing. So gotta go. You have a lovely day, and I will see you very soon. Hello, gremlins. My workday has ended. We are waiting for pizza to get delivered. Then we're gonna have pizza and wine and eventually cake. And we're gonna watch the Gilmore Girls episode where Lorelai turns 35. So that is prepped for the evening. And Krista went to the library for me. So the next book in this vlog feels like a complete left turn. In theory, there is maybe romance in here. I will be reading The Diva Takes the Cake, a domestic diva mystery by Krista Davis. And the only version that my entire library system had of this book is large print. So the text is huge. So in my Bob's Burgers vlog, I read the first book in this series, Diva Runs Out of Time. Yes. So I really enjoyed that one. And the fourth book is a Christmas book. So I'm reading, like, I requested 2, 3, and then the fourth book, the Christmas book. So I could read up to that point close to Christmas. So at this point, I need to read 2 and 3 for sure. I don't know if they'll both be in this vlog, but you are going to get book 2. So what I will tell you is that Sophie Winston, who is our main character, her sister Hannah is getting married for the 3rd time. But the issue is, Sophie doesn't really like Hannah's fiance, Craig? Craig, right? I think his name's Craig. If it's not Craig, it starts with a C. No one likes him, so I just keep being, yeah, it's Craig. Is Craig. And the frightening thing here is, because these are cozy mysteries, to kick all the events off, Craig never told Hannah, her sister, that he was married previously, and only told her when he found out his ex-wife was going to show up during the wedding weekend. And, again, because cozy mystery, the ex-wife was found dead, seemingly hung. But what appeared to be an unaliving is actually a homicide. So that's where we are at this point. Everything is chaos, because Hannah was like, I'm not getting married. Now she refuses to believe that Craig did anything wrong, so they're definitely getting married. That's where we are right now. But, yeah. Oh, I knew I was gonna cough. I ran downstairs really fast. Oh, I gotta go. Brain. I am about to restart my computer, and of course things are flashing and doing stuff because I'm finishing out my day. But, well, my day is over, but, like, I leave my stuff up a little longer, and I'm just like, why is there stuff that's, like, anyway, this is why I should restart my computer all the way before I film these. But, I need to do the restarting, and I need to go. Though pizza is still not here yet. But, that's where I am in the book. Sorry, I got so distracted by stuff, like, flashing. Even though I don't need to handle it, my day ended a few minutes ago before I started filming. But I am enjoying it so far. It's just weird that it's large print. But yeah, so we will be following Sophie throughout the investigation of the chaos of this mysterious death of the ex-wife. And other people will of course show up, like ex-husbands, you know, all of that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading this. I'll give you kind of a recap, but it's a cozy mystery. It's much shorter than it looks. The large print is making it look like a monolith of a book. That's not the right word. A giant book, but I do need to go. So I will show you birthday stuff when I get there, gremlins. It's gonna be a fun night.
Nothing good can come of that.
Here we are, a treat for the masses.
Smells good.
Oh, this is my favorite thing to eat as a boy. My gran used to make this for me whenever I was feeling a little sick.
Lorelai thinks it's disgusting.
Yeah, I think it is disgusting. But we have pizza, we have Gilmore Girls. Happy birthday to me! I'll show you the cake and I'll tell you how it tastes later. Ta-da, gremlins, it's cake. Krista put the little sign on the top, but I cut it. I'm gonna rotate it because I haven't tried it. Alright, let's flip the camera. Hello, you're very close to my face. Hi. I'm gonna lean. Alright, let's... It's good. It's really chocolatey. This is what...
Gugu, you coming?
the cake looks like on the inside. It's very good. Very chocolatey. It's chocolate mousse and Oreo. But I'm gonna eat my cake. But not the sign, even though it's technically edible. It's fondant. But we're gonna eat and watch more Gilmore Girls. Hello, gremlins. I'm in pajamas now. We're watching Gilmore Girls again. We did a FaceTime with the Ohio folks. They are currently having a whirlwind Thanksgiving adventure. But we talked to them for a while. Because we normally talk on birthdays, or at least around birthdays, depending on schedules. But we talked tonight, and now we are on season 3, episode 20 of Gilmore Girls. And the reason we're doing this check-in is actually to tell you about the cake, because we each had a slice, and it's very good. It's very rich cake. Like, I'm glad we didn't get like a big, like, I'm glad the cake is the size it is, because I cut it into 5th, 6th, something like that, and it was even hard just to like finish one of the small pieces. Hi, hello. You have to, oh, I don't have any cake in my mouth. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, so we each had like a little slice of it. It's like a 3 or 4 layer cake. 3 layer?
At least 3.
It's at least a 3 layer cake, and then there's chocolate mousse inside each layer. So it's, I already told you it's Oreo and chocolate mousse, but it was really good. It's really chocolatey. The mousse is like a very strong flavor. It's really good. It's just very dense. The fondant I didn't eat because it reminded me of marshmallow, so I kind of like, I couldn't really peel it off the cake, but I sort of like dug the cake out of the fondant on the back. Hello, hi. I don't have any of this cake. You're not going to get cake if you keep licking me. But it was good. We both really liked it, and we have a lot of cake left. So that will be our, I'm sure, Thanksgiving dessert, tomorrow desserts, week dessert, because we have plenty left. We also have some of the pizza left, and Krista also got pizza logs, so we have some of that left. So we'll probably do leftovers for dinner tomorrow because I'm cooking on Thursday, and then brain. But yeah, so we'll just do like easy stuff tomorrow because I'm actually making Thanksgiving. I think I told you we are getting a big storm, so we're not going anywhere. You don't want to focus on me. There we go. Because of the big storm, we're not gonna go anywhere on Thursday. So I will be making food, which we had food ready. I'm just making it earlier in the week than I planned. But I'm gonna go because Bruni apparently needs my undivided attention. And yeah, so that was the update. The cake is very good. It's gonna take us a while to finish it, but it was very good. It's very good. And yeah, but we're just gonna watch some Gilmore Girls and then head to bed. So I will talk to you sometime tomorrow, gremlins. Hello, gremlins. Today's such a bizarre day. So our house is cold, but it's like 52 degrees outside, which makes 0 sense because we're supposed to get like a blizzard tomorrow. So we're supposed to get horrible storm. I think I already told you this. Weekend of Thanksgiving. So basically tomorrow. Until Sunday possibly. And so we're actually not going anywhere because we won't be able to safely drive anywhere based on the weather report. And so we have finally figured out how we're working during Thanksgiving. So tomorrow we are just gonna like hang out. There's so many football games on that Crystal wants to watch that I'm not gonna like make Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. I'm just gonna like make some easy food, and I have to prep a couple things for Thanksgiving meal. And we're actually gonna do everything like eating wise for Thanksgiving on Friday because there's really only one game that day, and then we can just like hang out, and Krista is gonna help me with the turkey. So we're gonna do that on Friday. So this video will go at least through Friday, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Though perhaps it'll go a little longer. I'm not sure, but I think through Friday, just because I want to show you like all the food. But I want to give you a tiny update today because I'm just gonna casually be reading the Diva, the Domestic Diva books that I picked up at the library for the rest of this vlog. So I did finish the Diva Takes the Cake, which focused on Sophie's sister's wedding, which I did kind of tell you. So I finished this during my lunch break because I've just been like slowly reading through it, and I just thought I would let you know it was unbridled chaos really, because there's like the wedding is happening, so many weird things keep going on that the wedding ultimately winds up at Sophie's house, and we're introduced to so many different characters, which at the end becomes less confusing. But there were so many people, I was getting so lost, which is not the author's fault. I just like was not focusing a ton because I wasn't expecting so many new characters to show up, and then I was like, wait, who are all these people? I did catch on. It just took me a little bit, especially because I was reading and like not 1000% paying attention. Like I was just kind of like reading-ish, and for some reason, I don't know what it is, but the layout of this large print book I don't know. It was like throwing me off, and I kept getting distracted while I was reading it because the font was so big. I don't know why. It was just like a very weird, like I was like, oh, okay. I would just be reading and then my brain would be like, why is the font so big? And like I know why, but it was throwing me off. So I did finish it. Not only, much like the first book, there's not just one mystery that has to get solved. There are two concerning bodies that appear in this book. And then there are like other things that come up, like missing diamonds and like this whole like diamond thing from the past. And like Hannah has some ex-husbands and one of them shows up at this, and like everything, there's just like so much happening. And I was like, oh my goodness. So there's a lot. There's also definitely set up for the next book, which I'll just pull it up. So like this is a fun, cozy mystery. I'm not going to tell you too much beyond the fact that like the murders do get solved. It's a fun time. This one did, for whatever reason, there were so many people in this that I kept getting confused. And then I would be like, wait, that's so-and-so, and like remind myself. But this had like extra people in it because of the wedding. So I think that's what was throwing me off a little bit. Again, not the book's fault. I just like was not paying a ton of attention when all the people got introduced, and then I got a little lost. But I got through. I got through to the end. And it was ultimately fun. It was very wedding focused. And my anniversary is on Monday. So good timing for a wedding book. But this one was fun. I did not like it as much as the first one, but solely because I unfortunately got confused. But again, I got it. I figured it out. I was able to follow the reasoning for everything and still had a very fun time. The next book is The Diva Paints the Town. And this book is very definitely set up in The Diva Takes the Cake because we are introduced to Professor Mordecai Artemis and his dog, and they play a key part in this book. So this one is standard print, and I feel like I'll be less thrown off by the size of the book. I don't know what that was. Like I just was like having so many weird issues with like how big the book was and how big the font was, and I don't know why. Like I just was like so thrown off. I don't know. No clue. But this one is next. I have not started it, so I'm not going to tell you anything really. Just know there will be a body, possibly two, because that seems to be a trope in this series, is that there's normally one key thing. Sorry, my hair is being goofy, but there's normally a key thing and then like a second thing comes up. So that's this one. My hope is to finish this one pretty quickly. I'll be reading on Thursday and for part of Friday because I want to get to the Christmas one, which is book 4. But I'll be reading this one next, and I'll fill you in when I have read any of this so far. What else? I also feel like this fits because I'm making like Thanksgiving dinner, and these all have like recipes in them, and it's a lot about hosting and cooking. So I feel like these fit the theme, and they're easy, and I can just toss them in as something I'm like reading. They're not key to the vlog, but I'm having fun reading them. But yeah, so that's really it for today. We are just gonna run out super fast to pick up a couple of tiny things that we need for Monday, because I'm gonna make our anniversary dinner. I'm making salmon for that, but you're not gonna see it because I'm not gonna film. I mean, maybe I will. Maybe I'll whip out the camera for 5 seconds to show you what I made, but we're gonna do like our anniversary at home. We're gonna watch some movies we really love that are like tied into our relationship, and then that will be the day. And we are watching a football game that day, but like that's in the evening because Chris was like, oh, and I really want to watch that, and I was like, that's totally fine. So we're gonna like do anniversary stuff during the day, and then she can watch the game at night. But again, I don't know that I'm gonna, it won't be in this vlog, but I also don't know that I will vlog our actual anniversary while we're like hanging out at home doing like the dinner and all of that. But just know I am doing that, and we have to pick up the handful of supplies I need. I really just need to pick up the salmon and some more butter, so we're just gonna run out really fast after work and get that. So I actually have to finish up. I told her I was doing like a quick recap, and I was like, and then we'll go because she was gonna take care of the dogs and make sure they were all situated. But yeah, so I need to go. But yeah, so that's the plan. We like made all the plan at lunch, and now I'm just like, okay, got it. And then even though like I need to go, my brain was like, I gotta tell him the whole plan. But that's it for now. I need to go. I'll be ready for food things on Friday. So I may not film it all tomorrow. We'll just see. Just know food stuff is coming. Oh, I'll probably show the cranberry sauce, so you will get some stuff tomorrow. But the big meal is coming. But I will talk to you at some point, Gremlins. Hi, Gremlins. It is Thanksgiving, and I'm not actually making turkey today. So this is so wild. I'm gonna take a sip of my pumpkin spice coffee. We've already been up for a little bit. I've already had some coffee. I'm gonna be stirring while I'm talking to you. last night, Krista comes home from work and she's like, hey, I need to show you something. And I'm thinking like, oh God, what did the cats do? What did the dogs do? What's going on? I come into the kitchen and we have a giant serving pan of food. And I can't see what's in the food, like in the pan, because it's an aluminum serving thing. And I'm like, what is this? And she goes, okay, so a while ago I bought these raffle tickets because someone in her office, their kid had a school raffle. Had no clue what the raffle was for, but they were asking if she would like buy tickets. So she very nicely bought tickets, because what you do when you work in an office, you like buy the raffle tickets. So she gets these raffle tickets. Hasn't thought about them since she bought them. Apparently, she gets a call yesterday from the Italian market, Riccardo's, kind of near our house. And they say, you've won a pan of chicken Rickies, which is a chicken pasta thing of upstate New York, like it's everywhere. And she's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, you were the raffle winner, you've won a pan of chicken Rickies. And we need you to pick them up today. So we received a giant pan of chicken Rickies for free that we were informed can feed a family of 12. 12. And now the issue here is I have a side-by-side fridge, which you can like see behind me. My actual fridge, like the fridge portion and the freezer portion, because it's a side-by-side, they're not that big. And I already have a turkey taking up an entire shelf of my fridge. And I cleaned out that like shelf to accommodate the turkey. I need to turn this down a little bit more. I need to stir those. So I had done that. And I was like, I guess I can get this to fit, because the pan is so large for these chicken Rickies that I know that it's going to take up a whole shelf. So I like speed move stuff around again to like situate it, get it where I need it to be. There we go. And I fit this big pan of chicken Rickies in. I then realized I can't make cranberry sauce on Wednesday night because I have nowhere to put it. I can't put it under the chicken Rickies because the pan is too heavy. I can't put it on top of the chicken Rickies because the containers of cranberry sauce will be warm when I put them in the fridge. So I'm like, okay. So Krista and I talk about it and we decide I'll make cranberry sauce today, which I'm doing right now. That's what I'm stirring. And I'll just make chicken Rickies so that we can like eat some of them and I can move any leftovers into some Ziploc baggies so they'll take up less space. I also had to put what was left of my birthday cake in a plastic bag. There was no other way around it because there's like no room for it and I could not keep it where it was. All right, that one is doing pretty well. That's my chutney. I'll show you in a sec what I'm doing. The regular cranberry sauce is taking a little longer than normal. I'm tempted to cover it because it is very slow today. They are frozen, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because that's turned up pretty high. But yeah, so I'm making 2 cranberry sauces and I'm making the chicken Rickies that I just need to reheat right now. But we're gonna do Thanksgiving food tomorrow because I will then have space for like any leftovers. I'll have room for like my cranberry sauces to chill once we eat this. So we're just doing Thanksgiving food tomorrow. I will do all of my Thanksgiving cooking on Friday. So yeah, I thought I would show you my cranberry sauces in progress and the chicken Rickies because I'll show you everything when it's completed tomorrow, but I thought I would show you what I was doing. I also got gifts from Krista yesterday. So they were belated birthday gifts. She got me the Art of Bob's Burgers, which is very, very cool. And she got me a Bob's apron that I will be wearing tomorrow. So I'll get to see it tomorrow. But that's really all I have for you as an update. I am still reading my book, but I'm not far enough in to really tell you anything. So I'll talk to you about that at a later date as I stir this concoction over here. But let me show you everything. I'm just gonna, everything's a mess right now because I just moved a bunch of stuff around. Behold, iPad, I'm watching Bob's. But my coffee's here, I have this here, I have just stuff everywhere. But this is the chutney, I make this every year. So this is technically a family recipe, but we didn't like make it up. My grandma on my mom's side found this recipe for cranberry chutney in a newspaper and sent it to my mom to make. And it's cranberry sauce, golden raisins, cinnamon, ginger, allspice. And you like cook all that and then you add pineapple and you use the pineapple juice in lieu of water, but that gets added later. I make this every year and I'm basically the only one here who eats it. It also includes sugar, but I always use Splenda because I'm the only one eating it. Then this is going to be a standard cranberry sauce. I do need to stir that. So that's going right now. And then let me just open the oven and I'll show you. This is the giant pan of chicken Rickies. It is enormous. And I feel like it's gonna take longer because it felt really, really cold still, but it's huge. And that's cooking. So that's what I'm doing right now. I need to deal with these and finish up this. And I'm just watching Bob's. You can't see it, but I'm watching Bob's on the iPad. But I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm working on today. And then we're gonna eat lunch because it's only like 1 something. But I must go. I must cranberry. So I will talk to you probably not until tomorrow, Gremlins, when I'm doing Thanksgiving food. So I will see you then. Hi, Gremlins. I'm back in the kitchen. I'm just wearing my like gray Ouija sweatshirt because I was doing stuff. The bird is in the oven. I did not film the bird. Krista filmed me on her phone, but spatchcocking was really hard. So we did get a smoked turkey, and it's like an already cooked turkey. And I don't know if I was just having issues because the meat was less pliant. I really don't know. But like I had a really hard time getting through the backbone. And then I don't know that I actually cracked the ribcage like you're supposed to. Maybe I did. It's flat-ish. But while all that was going on, the legs came off. So the legs are cooking on sides of the pan. The turkey's in the middle. I'll show you when it's done. It's very complicated. I also don't have a ton of hand strength. So like I did my best, but it was very difficult. And I am curious to know because some of the issue was like the wings were cooked down over the back. So like I couldn't really cut it because of how it was. So it was just like tricky, like very tricky to do. But bird is in the oven. Again, because it's smoked turkey, it cooks for less time. So it just needs like an hour and a half. So it's in. And I wanted to fill you in on books. Also, you probably hear very loud Smallville because of course, as soon as I started filming, they did an action scene. It's been so quiet up until now. But I finished The Diva Paints the Town, which I didn't really tell you about. So in this one, Professor Mordecai Artemis, who lives near Sophie, he like lives a couple houses down. He has died, and his house winds up being involved in this like oh, what is it called? Does it say? Yeah, a spring home and garden tour. And this involves like basically Natasha takes over and says like she wants all of these different decorators to do the house. And while that's going on, it is revealed to Sophie that she has been left in charge of a bequest party. And in the bequest party, a number of Mordecai's former students are going to be given keys and like puzzle pieces, and they'll have to solve a clue to find his like what he's bequeathing them. And so that's going on top of this big event. And the tricky thing is that Nina, who is Sophie's neighbor, went out with a former boyfriend of hers from long ago, and she insists that he died. But no one can find the body, and when they do find the body, it disappears. So someone is dead, but no one knows where he is. And so they keep saying it's a missing person, blah, blah, blah. Why are you being ridiculous, Sophie? Because there's a person on the force named Tara who has her eyes set on Wolf, who is like Sophie's kind of paramour at this point. He is a detective in homicide. And Tara's like, this is a false police report, like there's no body here, but this guy named Kurt is still missing. And it turns out he's kind of like a serial philanderer. And on top of that, something else is odd. There's this rumor that Mordecai killed the man his wife was having an affair with. And no one can ever substantiate that. The wife actually disappeared. We do learn what became of the wife. We also learn what became of her partner in the affair. And there's a lot going on. There's this like event going on, and then someone else dies on top of all of this. So there are 2 bodies. Only one is visible to us initially. One keeps disappearing. There's also a parrot who talks. I forget his name, but there's a parrot, macaw, some kind of bird that can talk. But this one was a very like fun decorator time. There were like cool discussions of home reno, and a lot of the tips were home reno related. So this was very interesting, and also had so many things going on that I was like, what? There's like a mysterious possible murder from long ago. There's a current murder from now that may or may not be a murder and maybe a missing person. There's another murder that happens, and there's a lot happening. And then I'm almost done with this one, The Diva Cooks a Goose. It's the Christmas book. This one did not initially have a murder. It was just missing presents in the neighborhood that Sophie's brother lives in. And so all the presents went missing, and then a murder occurred that may or may not be related to the missing presents. So I'm so close to done, but I don't really want to tell you too much. There's a lot being set up with Natasha, who is the like rival-ish of Sophie, that involves regifting and a possible niece coming to live with her, which would also mean that the niece will be living with Mars, who is Sophie's ex. In this one, we're getting more like dating-y stuff with Wolf and Sophie, though he did have to go out of town. So this has been very cute, very, very Christmassy, super Christmassy, but there's a lot of drama because the murder happens, and then her brother's wife, her family starts being accused of the murder, and it's like all very like, you weren't good enough for us, like this other family, and it's a whole like wild thing full of affairs and drama, and just, these are all very dramatic and very fun. So I'm almost done with this one. When I finish it, I will let you know. So far, there's only one body. There's normally more than one, but there is a dual mystery in that there is a body and that murder, and also who took all the presents, because they haven't found all of them, but they did find something that indicates the presents may have been connected to the dead person. So it's been a fun time. They're very cozy reads. But yeah, Bird is cooking. I'm probably gonna make some coffee, and then later we'll have like drinks with dinner, I think. The sides I'm making are super easy because I'm making instant potatoes, which is boiling water and then like 2 minutes. And then I normally don't make the stovetop kind, but this is cranberry and I thought Krista would want to try it. So I'm making this for the other side, and then that'll be it. It'll be two. Oh, I was gonna make rolls. I can still do that. I had completely forgotten that I was gonna do that, but I can do that. I just have to figure out how that would work. Yeah, I'll probably make rolls, but that one, I have some crescent rolls in the fridge. But yeah, but this one's also super easy. So that's really it. I'm gonna let you go for now, and I'll show you food and probably fill you in on the rest of the book because I should be done by then. So you'll get to see the food. I'll finish up with this book, and then that'll be the end of the vlog. So yeah, stick around for after Thanksgiving dinner. Hello gremlins, this is the final clip, and I am gonna show you the food first. So you already saw the cranberry sauce. Yes, my hair is wild. It's been in a hat for part of the day. So this is the bird. I have no clue if it's any good. I don't know. It was smoked, it was pre-cooked. It's definitely done. I can tell it's done. But it is a big bird. Very big bird. So yeah, this is it. And then this is cranberry stovetop, some instant potatoes, and in the oven still are some crescents because they weren't cooked all the way. But yeah, so I'm gonna cut this up and do plates. You saw the cranberry sauce. So yeah, this is it. Oh, it's definitely done. I know I should meat thermometer it, but also it looks very, very done. I'll double check it, but it's been in for the maximum amount of time, so it should be good. Again, we'll double check it, but I think we're good. I'm gonna let it rest for a tiny bit. And now, behold Bob's. Hi, and I'm back. I also finished my book while the food was cooking. So, I have finished this. We did find out who committed the murder, and it was a wild time. We also learned the complicated aspects of who stole the Christmas presents. And there's definitely a divorce happening in here for some characters who were introduced. A number of people went in and out of prison, but this was just, these are so fun. I love a cozy mystery. I used to read a ton more. I read the Kate Carlisle ones, and I read the Booktown ones, and I can't remember who writes those, but I used to read cozy mysteries all the time. I actually have some more cozy mysteries lined up. Krista bought me some for my birthday. She got me this one that has a Siamese cat on the cover, and it's like 5 books in one. So at some point I'm gonna read that. But this is the last book. So I am actually gonna start getting plates together. You don't need to see that. Thank you, Evan. But yeah, this has been the birthday, Thanksgiving, random books reading vlog, I feel like. Also some movies were in here, some Bob's was in here. There's just a lot in here. I hope you enjoyed this like hodgepodge bit of a vlog, and I need to get food plated. So I hope you had a lovely long weekend. I know a number of people do not celebrate Thanksgiving, or if they do, it's like a Friendsgiving or it's just a family get together. And admittedly, I celebrate Thanksgiving solely for food, and as the years have gone on, especially because Krista and I don't typically do Thanksgiving ourselves, we just don't. We eat whatever, or we go to someone's place because we get invited, or if we're not invited somewhere, we just make whatever. Like I've made mac and cheese, just like box mac and cheese just cause. But yeah, it kind of feels like, for me, a celebration of Bob's Burgers at this point, because Bob loves the food of Thanksgiving, and it's been really fun to like try and do Bob themed food, especially since I did a whole Bob's Burgers vlog in advance of this. So I don't know, Thanksgiving is just like, it's just like you have time off and you get to be with family, and it is an incredibly problematic holiday, but I do appreciate the fact that I get to be home, I get to eat food, I get to spend time with my wife and the dogs and the cats and just my whole family. I get to be with my family. Now, my immediate family. I would love to be able to also spend time with the Ohio family and the family that's in New York or farther away. I would love to be able to do that, but the weather typically does not allow for it, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try and do some stuff next year and see what happens. But yeah, so this has been a fun vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had lovely food this week, and I will see you in the next one, gremlins.